Hello everyone, welcome to Real Class. I'm still MA Ido and we are looking at the general rules under the personal pronouns. And this time we are looking at the first rule which is on subjective cases. The rule states that the subjective case pronouns must always occupy the first position. Like I told him to go, I beginning. He told us to leave, I beginning. All right, you are here, you are subjective beginning. All right, that's for the first rule that states that the subjective case pronouns must always begin a sentence. And the rule 2 there says objective case pronouns must always be used to receive a sentence or receive action rather in a sentence. For example, he gave it to me. Me is a receiver. All right, that's objective case singular. She gave it to us, where us is plural objective case. All right, so the objective case pronouns must always receive actions. Then anytime you use than or as, that's the next rule. Anytime you use than or as to show comparison, all right, it is always the subjective case that ends it. For example, he is taller than I, not is taller than me. He is taller than I. All right, they are not as good as I, not they are not as good as me. All right, he is not as intelligent as she. The thing is, the pronoun or the verbs we refer to as verbs to be, they must be able to fit in anytime you use than or as. For example, he's not as intelligent as I am. They are not as good as she is. They were not as gentle as she was. All right, so that's that. So anytime you use than or as, what happened? It is the subjective case that follows. All right, is better than me. Is better than me is not correct. Is better than I. Is better than I, because if you want to complete the statement, it will be is better than I am. Is better than I am. All right, so we talk about transitive verbs. What is a transitive verb? A verb is said to be transitive when it can transfer action directly to the object or receiver of the action. All right, in the sentence. For example, the teacher called Shade and me. The teacher called Shade and me. All right, now call there, it's transitive. All right, it's transitive because it is transferring action directly to the receiver of the action. All right, Shade. And the rule says that anytime you use a transitive verb, it is the objective case that follows. The teacher called Shade and me. Me is objective, as Shade too is objective. And if you break it into the normal grammar, it is the teacher called Shade and also called me. Then after preposition, the next rule, as I've told you earlier, that prepositions are words that show relationship between one thing and another. Anytime you use preposition, what happens? The objective case follows. For example, Jesus Christ died for you and I. It's not correct. It is Jesus Christ died for you and me. All right, because for is a preposition and the objective case follows. So no English like Jesus Christ died for you and I, because if you want to break that grammar, it will be Jesus Christ died for you, he died for I. It's not correct. But if you have Jesus Christ died for you and me, you have Jesus Christ died for you and he also died for me as well. That's that. Then you now have both and all. Anytime both or all end a sentence where there is the use of than or as comparison, what happens? The objective case follows. All right, he is not as intelligent as them both. Is not as intelligent as them both. You can see that both end the sentence. All right, because of that, the objective case then goes with it. All right, so if you want to re-express it now, you now have something like is not as intelligent as both of them is still correct. All right, is not as good as them all. All right, is not as good as them all. If you want to re-express it, it will now be is not as good as all of them. All right, good. So that's that. Again, I'll repeat. Anytime you use both or all to end a sentence, where both or all right, or anytime you use both or all rather to end a sentence, where than or as are used as comparison, then the objective case follows. Don't forget that. The next rule says anytime you use it is, it was, it must have been, it appears to be. The next tense, the next pronoun should be what? Subjective. It is he who stole the meat. No, it is him who stole the meat. It is they, or it was they that called my name. No, it was them that called my name. All right. It must have been she who stood in the class. It must have been she. No, it must have been her. All right. It appears to be they who worked all night. It appears to be they. You can see that after the use of all of these, what happens? The subjective case pronouns follow. Then that's for personal pronouns. Let's look at what they call the demonstrative pronouns. They are called demonstrative pronouns because they are used to point out nouns. They point out nouns whatever they are, whether they are singular, plural, or they are close or they are not close at all. And they are four. Demonstrative pronouns are four. We have these for singular, near. These for plural, near. All right. Then that, singular, far. Then those for plural, far. Now just check out the example. This is my book. This is my book. That means this book is singular, this, singular, and it is what? Near. Check out the plural. These are my books. If I have 2 or 3 books, these are my books. That's plural, still near. Now, singular far. That is my book. You can see, that is my book. That's singular far, not close to the speaker now. Those are my books. That's plural far. Those are my books. Plural far. So that's that for demonstrative pronouns that actually point out nouns. So in our next class, we shall look at another topic that is quite interesting.